Hey, Gemini, Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here. Excited to bring in your January 2025 monthly reading. Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Gemini. I do see here that you've had to be strong around a situation. You have a bonus card, which is the Strength card. This tells me that you've persevered. You've really overcome some obstacles. And I see that you've worked hard to get to where you're at in your life. Okay, it didn't just fall in your lap. You didn't get to where you are by not putting in any effort. Now, your key themes for the month are the great outdoors, the belief system, and law of attraction. There's something that you've been wanting to move away from, is what I'm getting. And I see that you're riding out, it feels like you're riding the wave, like you had to ride a wave here and see how something was going to pan out or how it was going to turn out for you. And you now see that it's not what you thought it would be, or it's not the environment or the energy or the relationship. It just feels like something didn't turn out the way that you had hoped, and you're putting it to rest. Bottom of the deck, it's too much of a burden for you. It's causing a lot of complications. It's bringing a lot of heaviness. For some of you, it may have even brought some health issues. 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck says it's time to let go. It's time to release. Now, the Strength card showing up could also be about you focusing on your health. Okay, if your health has been a little bit funky lately, this could be the month that you're really getting back into a good routine. Okay, you're getting back into the swing of things, maybe getting outside, unplugging, getting out in nature. For others of you, if you've gone through a relationship dynamic with someone where you were walking on eggshells and you weren't able to fully be yourself or express yourself in some way, I just see that that is or has crumbled down in some way, and you're moving on. I mean, you have the Six of Swords here, which is about moving towards calmer waters. Whatever challenge or struggles that you are in, and look at, you have your strengths again. It almost feels like you are leaning into your strengths this month. Okay, yeah, you're leaning into your strengths, and this is going to help you out in all areas of your life. And we're going to look at all areas. We'll look at health, we'll look at wealth, love, abundance, all of it. But it feels like that's why you have strength as your bonus card, and your final outcome is the Star. So I do see that there's some sort of healing here taking place after some heaviness that you've gone through. And your belief system is also shifting. Yeah, look at, you have the prayer as your archetype. Beautiful. This always reminds me of Bon Jovi's song. I believe it's Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. And I see that your prayers are being answered. That's what this is all about. Something is being answered here, but that does require a foundational shift. It requires something to break down, and that seems scary, but you need that to break down. You need to have that breakthrough moment. So for example, perhaps you have delayed and put something off, and it kind of got to the point where maybe you had to get surgery, right? Maybe you had to get surgery on a health issue, or perhaps this was a divorce, or this was, ending that job, whatever it is here. I feel like you can no longer ignore it because you've been praying for change. However, it feels like you've been stuck in that cycle, and this is the month where that cycle is reconvening or reconfiguring out in some way. 10 of Wands, you've reached the end of this cycle. Okay, and this is about you now seeking help, or you prioritizing. You are taking a look at your responsibilities, maybe even delegating, maybe even saying, this is just too much. This is something that, I'm not willing to take on. This isn't even mine. Some of you are offloading. Okay, that could even be through asking for help from a professional, from a financial advisor, from a spiritual healer, from, a therapist or a doctor. Yeah, if you've reached the end of a cycle here, I just see you putting down some of those burdens, which is a good thing. Because what happens when we keep going and we keep going, right? We exhaust ourselves. And I just feel like you have come to a point where you're ready for something more simplistic. You're ready for calmer waters. You don't want to be in the trenches anymore. And you must listen to your intuition as well, because your intuition knows, your intuition is guiding you. Not only do you have intuition at the bottom of the deck here, Gemini, this is your subconscious as well. This is that voice within. This is bubbling up to the surface for you at this time. You actually have the High Priestess as your first card out as well. So your intuition is peaking this month, so trust it. All right, let's look at some of your key themes. You have the great outdoors. This is about grounding. This is Capricorn's energy here of, getting organized, getting in touch with the earth, eating more plant-based fruits and vegetables. This is about expansion, getting outside, moving the body, maybe going for a walk, going for a hike. This is about unplugging and spending time grounding your energy, because what comes before the Six of Swords, the Five of Swords, and that can be very scattered, very chaotic, very mentally exhausting. So this could be a wonderful month for you to find more balance through that earth energy of Capricorn showing up here, Gemini. So whatever you need to do to ground, I highly suggest doing it, because that's going to expand and help you open up here. That's going to help you heal. Working with crystals, grounding crystals such as tourmaline or onyx is a really good one. I also see some of you working outside. Maybe there's something outside you're getting done, maybe around the house, or maybe you do work outside in some way for your career. You could be planning a trip as well, maybe vacationing or getting to a warmer climate, or maybe you live in a warmer climate and you're doing some hiking. You're spending time near, on, or by the water. So the great outdoors is one of my favorites, because when we connect with the earth, we're really able to release our stresses and our anxieties, and we're able to get in touch with our intuition. At least I feel that way. And intuition is so strong here for you. So even if it's sitting outside for, 10 minutes a day, it's better than nothing. Get outside this month. You're going to not regret it. All right, we have belief system. This month is all about how you talk to yourself, okay? And look at, we actually have prayers there again. So you have prayer. Look at all the synchronicities. You have the strength, you have the intuition, the High Priestess, you have the prayer. So it almost feels like there's a duality that's coming together. It wouldn't surprise me to see the two of Cups. Okay, I don't see it here, but what I do see on the star, look at that. You have the as above, so below. There's the coming together. There's the prayer, right, as above, and there's the earth plane of the Capricornian energy. So perhaps that's part of the great outdoors. There's something physical that you are manifesting into your world. This could be a prayer, something you've really been asking the universe for help on, guiding you. This is also about your higher power and reprogramming. I said that earlier. So really taking a look at what's working for you, what burdens have you been carrying, what needs to be reorganized in a way that can have you feeling healthier and, looking healthier, because I feel like you've had a year. I feel like 2024, there's been, yes, some highs, but there's been some lows, and you deserve some sort of rapport here. You deserve some sort of, I can let my guard down. I can let my walls down. I can, enjoy, this reconvening energy at this time. But do pay attention to your intuition, your higher power, and your belief system. And make sure that you're talking to yourself in the ways that you would talk to a best friend. Because in fact, you are your own best friend. So would you talk to your best friend sometimes the way that you talk to yourself? If there's criticism criticizing or judgment or, degrading or admonishing. Just keep that in mind here. I don't feel like you're doing that with what I'm seeing here, but because the Tower is in your reading, and there's something crumbling down, and it feels like, these two cards are tight. They are like butting up against each other. You have the Tower in reverse and the Nine of Wands. So it feels like you've been backed into something. And sometimes when you feel like you're backed into a corner or you're backed up into a situation, Nine of Wands, that's perseverance, strength, boundaries. It's the wounded warrior. You've gone through something here that has really kind of crumbled down your structure, your foundation. That's why it's important now more than ever to really lean against that belief system. And that's the tree. That's the great outdoors. That's Mother Earth. So you see that there's going to be synchronicity showing up left and right for you, guiding you. I'm getting like guiding you home. And that's also going to help you bring in what it is that you are, or where it is that you're meant to be going. There's a new path here, I see. Okay, there's a new path, a new journey, a new direction with that Six of Swords. The law of attraction says, keep that abundant mindset. This is about magnetic energy. It would be a really wonderful time to create a vision board. I'm a huge fan of vision boards. I love the energy that goes into them. And I always do one in January myself, but this is about, positive affirmations and really connecting on an emotional and spiritual, level. That's what vision boards are about as well. Or your vision is, how does it make you feel? It's not just compiling a bunch of images and throwing them on a poster board and saying, all right, that's what I want. It stirs something up deep within you, and it reminds you that resonates with your soul. That's a part of your journey, and that it aligns you. It helps keep you in alignment. That's why I love those vision boards, because it kind of sets the tone for, yes, this is my goal. This is my aspiration. This is what I'm working towards. And sometimes we need that reminder, especially when we're going through, some restructuring. So the law of attraction, focus on your strengths, lean into them, because your strengths are, where you're going to thrive. And it doesn't mean that you're undermining or putting your weaknesses, behind the curtain and you're not dealing with that. It just feels like you're leaning more into your strengths this month. So if you're real good at something, lean into that. If you excel at it, this could be something that people tell you have a natural ability towards. This could be something that, you pride yourself in. This is something that you persevere on, especially with that Nine of Wands here. This is perseverance, overcoming obstacles. And for some of you, it absolutely has everything to do with your fitness, with your health, which we'll talk about here. Now, keep that mindset positive affirmations. That's right next to belief system. Now, because strength is your bonus card, I feel like this is a renewed sense of strength because of some sort of foundational shift. The Tower, I feel like the Tower's already happened. Why? Because you have the Star right behind it. And this could be something that you're still picking up the pieces around. Okay, it could have been a relationship that ended, or it could have been a job or a sudden change. It could have been a near-death experience. It could have been a new beginning, or it could have been your belief system destroying old structures. That's what it is for a lot of you. Gemini, the Tower is oftentimes our belief system that restructures, how we think about life. And it offers us a new beginning. And it sometimes comes as a shock, comes as a surprise, like, wow, I've been thinking this way for so long, but maybe I can open up to this perspective. You don't have to be backed into a corner. For some of you, you've been in fight or flight mode for so long that when you look around and you're like, wait a second, the coast is clear. Nobody's after me. I'm actually doing okay. I'm actually in good health. I'm actually feeling good financially, or I'm in a good relationship. It almost feels like this is the month that you can breathe. This is the month that you can let your guard down, and whatever imaginary wands that you were still carrying, it was like the ghost of girlfriend's past in a way, right? Or the ghost of something, the ghost of the past that was still causing you to be in some sort of fight or flight mode. there's a renewed sense of determination this month, and I would say this is really powerful for you. Nine of Wands is external hurdles that you've overcome. It's reigniting bravery and a renewed sense of determination to persevere, to move forward, and to become, stronger mentally, physically, emotionally. So whatever you are doing, keep doing it, Gemini, because this is powerful and your mind is powerful. It absolutely is. Bottom of the deck, intuition, paying attention to that voice within. And the reason why I put the gut instinct on this card with intuition, because believe it or not, they're two separate things. Our gut instinct is based on our condition. It's the first fear, the first rooted fear that shows up based on something we've gone through. Now, our intuition is different. Our intuition is that small voice within that's kind of always leading us from that spiritual or higher perspective. And the wisdom to know the difference makes all of the difference in the world. And I see that you now know that something was based in a belief or based on, still a ghost. Yes, a ghost from the past is what I would call it here. But you have meditation, you have the high priestess showing up. Your intuition is really standing out more so than the ghost of something of the past. And that is giving you more strength to move forward and to say yes to a new journey, because you're starting off with the high priestess. Now remember, the high priestess, she is the most intuitive, spiritual energy in tarot. She is someone who is full of spiritual insight. She's full of mystery. She's full of secrets and knowledge. There's knowledge that she has access to, that she has, information. And that knowledge, it's like what she does with it makes all the difference. You don't have to do anything with what you are getting in this reading today, right? But if you do, if you follow what resonates with you, you're going to see that the outcomes that are coming in here are going to be where you kind of align with. You're going to see that this is a potential outcome for you. That's what spiritual tools are all about. That's what our intuition is all about. It doesn't mean that you have to listen to it. You can listen to that gut instinct. You can listen to the conditions, the patterns, the belief system. But I see here that you understand that there's another way, that you can stay close to the river is what I'm getting. Okay, stay close to the river. Like you can follow the river towards your destination, and then you always have access to drink from that river. Drink the divine knowledge. That's interesting. Some of you are tarot readers. You are healers. You are psychics. You are mediums. Or you have the gift. Whatever. I mean, we all have gifts. But for you, Gemini, this is a very heightened month where whatever information you are getting, I would listen to it and I would run with it. I would stick close to the river so that can guide you and lead you, and you always have plenty to drink from, whether that's, abundance, whether that's love, whatever that may mean for you, whatever that water, the cup, represents for you, because you are moving towards calmer waters. 6 of Swords. You see that she's looking back. She's looking back to see, are those ghosts still following me? Is that something that, I need to keep looking over my shoulder? Because you have. With that 9 of Wands, I see that you have looked over your shoulder and you've still been in that fight or flight mode. But it almost looks like, she has a hand up. She kind of has a hand up. And we can look at that hand in 2 different ways. We can look at the hand like a protection here of, okay, something's going to come back to haunt me. But we can also look at that hand as halfway up, like she's waving it goodbye. She doesn't ever want to look back there again. She doesn't have to let those ghosts come back to haunt her. There's an energy around the full moon. The full moon in January, I believe, lands about mid-month. Okay, so it feels like you are fully moving forward into a new journey. Some of you, this is a move. For some of you, it could be a job change. It could be getting out of a relationship or something that may have been very difficult, very toxic, very heavy. Because what is the 5 of Swords, right? That's what comes prior. That's what she's leaving behind. 5 of Swords is someone taking advantage. It's revenge. It's anger. It's bullying, manipulation, conflict. it's not my favorite energy. I always say that I'd much rather see the Tower, I'd much rather see the Death than the Five of Swords, but that's just my personal opinion. The Five of Swords is mental conflict. And when mentally we are stuck, I mean, that mind is so powerful because that really leads us into that belief system. And that's why you have this. And mentally, as an air sign, Gemini, that really gets you stuck as well. But if you tell yourself something and you are determined to move forward with that new thought, the sky's the limit. And in this case, the moon, the full moon, endings, right? Endings bringing in a new beginning. I really like this so far. If you guys are liking this, please hit that thumbs up. Now, because I see the Nine of Wands backed up against the Tower, basically. The Tower is in reverse. But, you know, I actually don't mind this Tower. It kind of makes me chuckle because you can see the witch. She's looking back, like looking back at the camera, and she's smiling. She has a little smirk, right? Because she's the one that actually brought down that Tower. So it feels like this is something you have brought down around you because it was based on a lie, based on a ghost, right? Based on some sort of fear, based on a false premise or a false, identity of something. Whatever this is, this could even be an inherited belief system that has been passed down. And it's caused you to be in fight or flight. But it almost feels like she's looking back now and she's saying, wait a second. That's just a ghost. That's something that's been falsified to hold me back, for me to really lean on my strengths and to really show up for myself and know what I'm made of. And I feel like their change that's happening here is something that you are initiating for your highest good, so you don't have to feel like you are always in that fight or flight. I see that you've set some boundaries, that you have the spiritual strength here to overcome anything, and you are reigniting that sense of bravery and determination, and you're feeling a lot better is what I'm getting. Yeah, you're feeling a lot better with where you're going. Now you actually have, let's see, you have another bonus card, which is the Star. So you're getting some bonuses here. It almost feels like extra bonuses for you in January. You have the Magician, which is your energy as well. All right, the Magician, Gemini, Virgo, this is about manipulation when it shows up in reverse. Six of Pentacles, this is reversed as well. Someone that you may have been dealing with, or maybe this is a characteristic of oneself, all right? Sometimes we got to be bluntly honest with ourselves. Perhaps something was manipulated. And I feel like we're constantly manipulating time and energy. Sometimes we call it manipulation. Sometimes we call it manifestation. Now, the difference is, is it coming from a lower vibration or is it coming from a higher vibration? And there's something here about balancing it out. As above, so below. And it feels like, you're not manipulating in a sense to hurt anyone. Although some of you were dealing with a manipulator. I'm just going to say that because the Five of Swords, that's toxic. You were dealing with an energy that, this person could have been a master, a mastermind of some sort, like able to manipulate and talk words where you didn't even realize, like, whoa, what just happened? How did that completely get twisted? How did it start with me just minding my own P's and Q's, and then it got landed back on me, and I don't even know what happened from A to Z. Like, what happened in the middle there? You were dealing with, well, I'm going to say it, the big N, right? You were dealing with the big N here. And I see that some of you, this person, yes, could have had narcissistic traits, or they may have been manipulative in some way, or perhaps you may have kind of had to work your magic. You had to pull some tricks out of your own sleeve here to kind of allow this Tower to crumble. And if it's coming from a place of, higher self, then don't worry about it, right? If it's coming from a place of this is what I needed to do to get to my, my healthy, abundant future, then don't worry about it. Now, again, I'm not giving anyone a free pass to act without integrity. That's not what this is about. But it tells me that something was unfair. There wasn't a good, genuine offer. There wasn't reciprocation here in a situation, which caused you to exit, which caused you to leave. And I just see that there's a renewal. Your bonus card is the Star. And the Star here is Aquarian energy. Aquarius is showing up in the sun element January 21st. This is the end of January. So when Aquarius energy shows up, your fellow air sign, this is a wish. This is a brighter future. This is healing. This is a dream. So as above, so below. You win some, you lose some. There's a belly up fish there, but I see that you have other fish in the sea or other fish to fry. Don't let this one situation that turned kind of belly up spoil the rest of your, life. I mean, this is big. There is a prayer being answered here for you. And sometimes we don't always see that it is a prayer indeed when we're going through the tower. But I feel like this tower is you saying, I'm not going to be backed into it. I'm not going to be walking on eggshells. I'm not going to be constantly in fight or flight. So therefore, I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to quit. I'm going to walk away from it. I'm going to, not let the ghost come back and haunt me. And I see that you're doing what you need to do. You're trusting your intuition. And if your intuition is telling you to pull some tricks out of your sleeve to do what you need to do, then do it. Okay? There's no crime in that. If you're not hurting anyone, okay? If you're doing something for you, you got to trust that. All right, let's look at health. Let's look at health here. Because we have the strength, some of you, I feel like you're very much like strong, very healthy here. You're getting into a place of maybe a healthy body as well, perseverance, but I do see adrenal fatigue. For some of you, your adrenals are worn. Your adrenals are, because you've been in that constant fight or flight or maybe some sort of shock. Some of you may have had some sort of shock, like shock to the body, shock, maybe even nerves. Okay, I'm getting like nerves, the nervous system. It may have felt like shocks to the nervous system. Sometimes if you have certain nerves that just feel like a little bit of a shock. I also see here with health, it feels like something started to deteriorate within you, or maybe health started to really go south, but I feel like you're taking it into your own hands and you're saying, wait a second, before something manifests into a big ugly mess, I got to take matters into my own hands, and I got to eat healthier. I got to take my, cholesterol back. I got to work out. I got to get outside. I got to get my strength up. I have to tell my mind something, stick to it, and stay consistent. So I feel like that could be you, kind of using those magician skills to kind of manipulate or manifest. I mean, however you want to put it, some tricks up your sleeve and do what you need to do to stay consistent and become a better version of yourself. Maybe even get an accountability partner with the Six of Pentacles. I do feel like there's something here that you don't have to do alone, okay? You don't have to do alone. And the reason why I say that, Gemini, is because the Six of Swords has two other individuals in front of him or her, and they're guiding her. So maybe this is your guides, your ancestors, your loved ones. But I see that there's a couple of people here in the physical world that could help you out or assist you or guide you. If you've already asked for help, or, there's something about asking. Don't let pride get in the way. I'm just going to point that out here. Don't let pride or ego kind of get in the way of, asking for help. Sometimes that Six of Pentacles is establishing healthy boundaries, not over giving to the point of exhaustion, or not over giving to maybe someone who manipulates or abuses their power, their magic in some way. All right, let's look at what else is there for strength or for health. Eating more plant-based fruits and vegetables, staying hydrated, moving the body. I'm getting like a rowing machine. Okay, some of you could benefit from like rowing. I don't know if that's, yeah, I think they have rowing machines, don't they? I see here that there's a kayak. If you're not able to get outside and spend some time, walking, or maybe a little bit of cardio, some of you could benefit from like a rowing machine, or even like a treadmill, or even a Peloton. Biking. I'm getting the motion here of like keep something with the shoulders as well. Shoulders. Some of you could be lifting or rowing or just working the shoulders. and the neck region is standing out. Anything else for health? Excuse me, health. Oh, okay. Some of you, if you're a hypochondriac, we can all go on Google sometimes and see worst case scenario. One tiny little patch on the skin can be, cancerous and we're going to die. We have a week left, right? Sometimes we can be a little bit of a hypochondriac when it comes to health. I see it's important to maybe get a second opinion here on something, or don't go down the rabbit hole. That's just your gut instinct trying to protect you, right? The brain trying to protect you, because the gut is the second brain, if you've ever heard that. Some of you could have gut issues even. There could be something about mental energy with that magician, brain fog. Some of you could be eating mushrooms, okay? Not the magic kind. I mean, maybe some of you, I see magic here, but this is like reishi or lion's mane, or mushroom coffee, mushroom tea, mushroom supplements. So I feel like mushrooms are I'm a big fan of the mushroom supplements. They're very good for the mind, and you could be using some sort of vitamins or supplements to help you with the mind, or even to decalcify like the pineal gland as well. All right. Wealth, abundance, money. What do we have here? Career, retirement. Let's look at it all. There's a shift coming in. Out of 5 cards, you have some really beautiful things. I don't see one challenge here. I mean, not that there's not going to be a challenge. We'll look, but there's a shift when it comes to abundance. Okay, it says taking your career in a totally different direction. Some of you, you are, that's the Tower, restructuring here. Have the courage. There's the Strength. Have the courage to change course, continue to grow, change, and learn. Gemini, you're growing, you're changing, you're learning. You've reached the end of a route where you cannot continue traveling. Absolutely. 10 of Wands. That's the end of the route. And there's a new path, a new direction here. It's like you've hit this crossroads when it comes to finances, when it comes to abundance or money or your career. And I see you shifting. This is a shift here. Now you have this spiral that could be part of the Tower, but the good thing about this spiral, and this always reminds me of the Choku Rei, the Reiki symbol, and it's a spiral out. So this is like the energy on. This is it. We're getting it on here. We are advancing. We are turning on this switch that is going to allow you to go up on this upward trend. It says here, climbing the ladder. It may feel like things are a little bit out of control here, but this is the month where you jump in. That's why you have the Tower in reverse, because you're liberating yourself, and it feels liberating, but yet there's adventure and excitement, and yes, a little bit of fear, but I see that there's going to be a connection right behind this. There's either a promotion, or there could be, a revisiting of a job. Well, for some of you, you're revisiting, but for a lot of you, I feel like this is a complete change. Maybe the mind piece is saying, well, should I or shouldn't I? Should I stay where I'm at? So you could be revisiting, but it tells me that by the full moon, you've completely decided what you want to do here when it comes to career. I also see that you are connecting, like the spiral energy tells me that connections and networking and like group energy. Spirit is saying, look below. Okay, that's why. Look below. There's the teamwork. Right behind the intuition, there's your support system. There's your group effort, your co-creation, team projects. Things are coming together. You have a helping hand here. Yeah, and I said that earlier. There's more than one person helping you out. Some of you, there's 2 very important people in your life that are connecting with you. Some of you have to show face. This is about your skills, investing. Someone may want to invest in you. Someone could be headhunting you. They want to work with you because they see that you are very valuable. This is about taking a risk. This is about face value. You have shown that your skills and your talents and your reputation like precede you. I feel like you are self-made. Some of you, this is about fame even. I mean, the star can be a card of fame. It's about exposure. It's about reputation. And I just see that I see that where you're going is actually quite abundant, quite beautiful. You are someone who will succeed at whatever you set your mind to, Gemini. That's the power of the mind. And I see that there's a risk that you need to take to shift gears, to move maybe in a different direction, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to bring you a lot more peace. You have the peacemaker. You're being called to apply diplomacy and tact to maybe a situation that's been challenging or difficult for you. Possibly politics, negotiations, unions, contract jobs, or any peacemaking careers. Some of you, there's freedom. Look at, you have the flag there, and there's something about freedom. I'm also hearing teachers. Some of you could be teachers in some way, spiritual or educational. And then lastly, your outcome is coins. This is money coming in. This is good investments, sales, finances, getting a raise, hitting that lucky break. This is about you manifesting here a new path, one that feels more aligned with your mission, with your purpose. As above, so below. And the Six of Pentacles tells me that boundaries are established. There's something here that is being balanced out. And she is wearing the 6 coins on her. She has enough to share. So I feel like you're sharing in your good wealth, your good knowledge. You know, you are giving back in some way. And when we give back, you know, it comes back to us. I mean, I didn't make that up. It's a universal law, the law of attraction, the law of, you know, cause and effect, the law of karma. I mean, these things are, you know, it's just part of the world. All right. So finances look like, you know, you've hit a cycle, but there is mending, there's healing, trust your intuition, there's an answered prayer, there's light at the end of the tunnel here. And I just feel like if you were not appreciated or someone overstepped boundaries, took advantage of you, took advantage of your skills and you weren't compensated, you're moving on. Some of you are definitely light workers, you're healers, you're high priestesses, okay? High priests or high priestesses. And you have some tricks of your own, okay? I keep getting that. In this case, you know, a lot of times, yes, this magician can certainly be someone else that you're dealing with because you're getting away from that 5 of Swords. So yes, it's someone else, but I see that this is also a part of you because you are the Gemini energy. And this is about you having some tricks up your own sleeve. And like I said earlier, it's not about using your power to hurt anyone. It tells me that you are using your power to kind of manipulate your energies to get what you want. And we can call it manifestation if that makes you feel more comfortable, but it just tells me that there's some tricks that you have up your sleeve that maybe you weren't sharing, you weren't expressing. Like you have some secret knowledge here. And because the Tower, she kind of has that little smirk, that little wink. You know, I don't think that this is a bad energy that you are in at all, okay? Or that you are coming into. Not with the Star here. There's healing, there's hope. You're a good individual here that maybe got faced with some challenging circumstances. And I just feel like whatever you're doing to survive and to move on, I mean, you're exactly where you need to be. Let's look at love. Gemini, what do we have for love, relationships, partnerships, family? Well, I see a lot of you focusing on your abundance, okay? Focusing on your positive mindset. Didn't we see that word earlier? Yes. We have abundant mindset and we have positive affirmation. So there's another doubled energy, double card here. This is gratitude and blessings. This is manifesting. I love it. There's the manifest card. You're manifesting some great abundance into your life. Now, this is showing up in the love sector. So for some of you, you're like, Mel, I'm not focused on love right now. And that's okay. If you're not focused on love, you're focused on your money. You're focused on your abundance. Now, for those of you that were in a situation with someone that was manipulative, that was degrading, a bully, you know, narcissistic traits that may have left you feeling stuck with a ghost, maybe even kind of zapped at your self-confidence. Maybe you felt like you weren't enough. Maybe there was some sort of abuse here because I do see, you know, the bloody bandages and her face. There's some sort of abuse, maybe mental, emotional, physical. And I see that the egos and the fears are, you know, you're healing from something that was very difficult, very challenging. Gemini, never a fun thing, but I see that it's a ghost, right? You're looking over your shoulder, you know, you don't ever want that to come through, but here you are, you hold the power in your hands. That's why the witch here is looking back at the camera smirking because she's knocked down that tower because she knows that that's the best thing that she could do for herself, and that's going to give her confidence here. So if you lacked confidence when it comes to love or a relationship, you're starting to rise up. You have the phoenix, the new phase, okay? Rekindling here, a part of yourself. Maybe even rekindling. For some of you, you're coming back together. They're coming back together. I say that just because we do have the Six of Pentacles sitting right on top of the star. So there could be a healing, something that may have ended because the fish is belly up there in the Six of Pentacles. I feel like there could be a rekindling just for those of you that want it. For others of you, I definitely feel like your intuition is telling you move on. There's a new phase here. You're going to rise from the ashes. I love the phoenix. And look at the mind, right? You're getting the power of the mind is so brilliant here for you, as well as trusting your intuition. Now, lastly, you have healthy choices. And this has come out a couple of different times. I think Aries also had this, or maybe it was Taurus. But this is about self-love and self-care. It's about being happier, loving life. So for those of you that are in a relationship currently, I see that you're choosing healthy options, and maybe you hope that your partner is going to get on board, okay? But you know that you need to do something for you. And I see that some of you, maybe the tricks up your sleeve, maybe the manipulation part of what I'm getting here is like, trying to sneak in vegetables into a fruit smoothie to feed your kids, right? It's like you got some tricks up your sleeve and you know that you're hiding something, but it's for the better. That's what I get from this magician when this shows up in your energy. It's like, okay, well, they could use a couple extra vegetables or some good healthy greens. I'm just going to plop this into a smoothie. They'll never know, and it's going to benefit everyone. So that's what I get here. So some of you also are getting back into a healthy routine with your love life, with your partnerships. And that may mean leaving behind people that no longer align with your path, with your journey. And you can grieve that, right? You can grieve that. That's important to grieve, but I see that it is going to be a burden that you're going to release because you've laid down some heavy things here. All right, some of you have children. I'm getting here as well. A child, maybe you've had to take care of a child. You may have had to take care of an elderly loved one as well. And I see that someone has reached the end. Someone may have a choice to put a parent into a home, or maybe there is a parent in a home, but perhaps it's time for another sibling or another family member to kind of do some work as well. Okay, I'm getting that message for some of you. And I also see there may have been struggles or arguments over how to raise children here. And I feel like there's going to, excuse me, some sort of common ground or commonality here coming in. All right. Moving forward in matters of the heart, I definitely feel that. Trust your intuition. If you are stuck in a situation where you are backed up into a wall and you feel like you have no choice, let this crumble. Let it all crumble down here, Gemini. You need to in order to move forward and heal. All right, what's a message here from your soul's truth? Do you know all of your strengths, and are you using them? We all have superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strengths, we are able to show up in our zone of genius. And that's what I keep getting here for you. A lot of mind, a lot of intuition. There's your zone of genius. Okay, I don't see any heart, but it doesn't mean that there's not heart in it, right? We have the high priestess, we have the star, we have the tower. I just feel like you are being rational. You're using your logical mind, which is your zone of genius. And the message here is, asking yourself, how can you use one of your soul's gifts to contribute to this open and ready world? Your soul's gifts, there's the high priestess. She has all those spiritual tools right in front of her. And I feel like there's some gifts that you have, healing abilities. Some of you, this is helping people redefine reality. For others of you, you are stress and anxiety gurus because you are the master of it yourself. You've dealt with enough stress and anxiety. Some of you are here to help others in a very big way. Whatever your strengths are, use them. because you're leaning in on them this month. All right, living on a prayer is your archetype. So let's look at the prayer archetype here for you, Gemini. I feel like this is going to be a big one. I do see here that there's something about surrender or kneeling down, and I kept getting the Hanged Man energy for you. So some of you may have even felt a little bit stuck. Okay, you may have felt stuck in a past situation. Again, that ghost, it feels like a ghost energy coming in. So let me just find the prayer. 1 second here, Gemini. All right, the prayer is about reverence, homage, and the worship. What is prayer? When are we in a state of prayer and when are we not? To whom or what do we pray? Archetypally, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy for the omnipresent, self-centered thinking that spins us towards illusion. Prayer leads us beyond our ego as we move from our little story to the big one. Some say we are in a state of prayer anytime we are not the center of our own thoughts. Others say prayer is a natural result of gratitude. Perhaps it is simply surrender or service. Whatever prayer is for you, this card reminds us of its importance. Get quiet, low, humble, and soft. Bow and touch the ground as your heart lifts to the sky. Though it may be uncomfortable, it is time. Nothing else will do. This is about offering to be of service and asking for guidance. When it's in the dark, it's expecting results. It's self-aggrandizement here. Go deeper. Ask to be of service. And I feel like that's part of the strength here as well. That's part of the Six of Pentacles. You know, how can you be in service? How can you surrender? Experiment with the act of bowing down. Nearly all spiritual traditions make a practice of prostration. Every song, kiss, breath, word can become a prayer. It is a feeling, not an action. Consider the ancient mantra, Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. I bow to the creative consciousness within me. I bow to the teacher within. I like that. Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. I bow to the creative consciousness within. I bow to the teacher within. It reminds me of Namaste. And I do see a lot of you, I mean, intuitively, spiritually, you are receiving important information that is going to help guide you right into your strengths in order to move towards calmer waters, to move towards, you know, a better year ahead for you, Gemini. That is what I have. If this resonates with you, please hit that thumbs up button. I really enjoyed your reading today. If you like the channel here, you like the messages, please subscribe and hit that bell button. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Lots of love.